Hey, and welcome to the BAKEMAN Show. I'm Robert, and I'm the BAKEMAN. And what we're going to do is very different from what you see. All these shows you see where they're making these big cakes that weigh like 500 pounds, and they're putting them on tractor trailers to get them somewhere. Yeah, they look great, but you can't do that at home. So what I'm going to do for you guys at home is show you how to make stuff that you can make in your kitchen. As you see, I'm in just a regular kitchen, and this is where I do my stuff. I happen to be at my friend's house in Thousand Oaks, California today. I don't know why they call it Thousand Oaks. I only counted 950, but I could be off. So what we're gonna do today, our first episode, we are going to make Jewish egg bread, known as challah bread, or if you say it right, challah bread. And we're gonna do just a little 3 braid, and I'm just gonna show you little things with that. And the tools you'll need are very simple, just regular household tools. 90% of what we're gonna do, you can use a hand mixer, and then we have a little mixer here to do bread dough and stuff, so you'll have to get one of those little home mixers, and that's about all you need. And also, at the end of the show, I'm gonna have a little time for you guys where you can call in. We're gonna call it Ask the BAKEMAN. So if you have any questions during the show that you wanna write down and call in at the end, I'll be able to answer those questions on the show, or any baking questions. So after a word from our sponsors, we'll be right back, and we'll get to loafing around on our first bread dough. Okay, now we're back. Okay, so let's start the egg bread, and I already have all my ingredients scaled up and ready to go, and I'll tell you exactly what you use. All right, this will make you a couple loaves, 2, 3 small loaves. You can make rolls out of it. You can literally do anything, and we'll get into all that stuff, but let's get started. First thing you want to do is take your water and oil, okay? And the amount is 8 ounces of water. And if you want, you can crack a couple yolks. I use 4 eggs for this recipe, and you can just use like 3 eggs and 1 yolk, but we're just gonna use all eggs. So here's the first thing. I'm gonna take the water and oil, which I have together, put it into my bowl, like so, okay? Then I'm gonna take the eggs next, and I got 4 cracked eggs, and put them in the bowl. You wanna get all your liquid in first when you do breads. Okay, now I have a half a teaspoon of salt and 3/4 teaspoons of sugar. That'll go in there also. You don't want to have the salt touch the yeast or the water. You're going to get the rapid yeast or any kind of yeast, and you can get it in any store. Anything we do here is nothing you have to go to some specialty store for. You can go to any local grocery store and get any ingredients for any single thing that we're gonna make on our show. So everything is out of the regular local grocery. So now I got my salt and sugar in, and then on top of that, I have 2 cups of flour. That goes in there. I use all-purpose flour, or you can use bread flour too. And the thing with the flour and bread and water is it's not always going to be an exact thing. And I'm sure you heard baking is an exact science, and it is. But sometimes flours are stronger at certain times of year. I'm not going to get this whole chemistry thing. We'll have another show for that, but let's just do this. And then I already have my yeast activated, so I'm going to put that in there. You just take a little warm water and the yeast and let it sit about 10 minutes. Okay, so pretty much everything's in there. I'm going to lower my mixer right now. Turn it on slow to start with, because if you turn it on real fast, you're going to paint your whole house. I don't think you want to paint it with challah bread, because it'll be a little sticky on seal in there. So we're going to let this mix, and what we do is we start out mixing it slow until it comes together. And then, if I see it's a little sticky, which you'll see in the picture, I'll put a little bit more flour, or if it's a little too stiff, I'll put just a little more water. Usually it'll be pretty much on the money, so you won't have to worry about that. And then I'm going to show you how to tell when the dough is done. Usually it would take about 10 to 12 minutes to mix this. And what you have to do is you take a piece of dough out, which we're going to do when it's done, and you stretch it out a little bit. And if it rips right away, it's not developed. So you just stretch it out a little bit. If it's got a good stretch, it's done. And at that point, we'll take it out of the bowl and we'll let it rest so it rises a little bit, and then cut it up into the pieces we need. All right, now I'm going to turn this up a little faster because it's starting to come together and I know it won't fly out of here. That's going to take a little bit. And it looks like it's going to need a little bit more flour. As you see that mixing in there, you can see a little bit of lumps, which will go away. That's all part of the mixing process. So I'm going to put a little bit more flour in, a little bit at a time. I'm going to start out just with a level half a cup, and then another one. Alrighty, and then just let that go. So, you know, I was thinking also, I've been watching a lot of different shows on TV and sports, and like, I don't know what's with the tattoos there. Everybody's getting tattoos on. I don't have any. So I was thinking of maybe getting like a loaf of French bread here saying born to bake, and maybe you guys can suggest something I should get to put on for a tattoo, you know, something to do with the bakery, something interesting. Okay, this is coming together, as you can see. And the lumps are starting to come out. You want to get this stuff, the consistency of a kind of like Play-Doh, not Play-Doh-Stick, but kind of like Play-Doh. So that's what we're doing. Okay, so what we're going to do now, while that's mixing, is we're going to take a quick commercial break and get a message from our sponsor. When we come back, this should be almost ready to go, and we'll see you in a bit. Yeah, as you see,